ahoy. What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, so we're in it now?
Yeah, man, it's weird. So, Wes, dude, what's this?
Well, so you've been into a hobby store, maybe a Barnes & Noble, something like that, and you've seen boxes what have these little robots on them, and you're thinking, what are those? I'd like to get into them. These are what are called Gunpla, which is short for Gundam Plastic Models. So, yeah, if you were watching Toonami back in the day, you're probably pretty familiar with things like Gundam Wing and 8th MS Team.
Yeah.
Same franchise, nice. Same stuff.
Cool. Very nice.
To begin with, once you found a kit you like, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need some sprue cutters, side cutters, nippers, whatever you want to call them. And ideally, you're going to want to have some kind of hobby knife to hand. These aren't necessary for some kits, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I kind of talked about this in that video that I mentioned to you earlier, right? When we did that kit. We're going to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 75% of what you're going to find in most places is going to be the high grade line. High grades are in 1/144 scale, which means that the kits are 1/144th the size of the machine that it's actually based on. Once we get into the box here, you're going to find all of your parts come on these plastic sheets called runners or sprues.
Now, real quick, this is going to look familiar to some people if they've done models before, right?
Oh yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
But there's a big but though, right? These don't go together like your standard, like this stuff, right?
Sure don't.
It doesn't. This is different than this, but it's the same. So how is it different but same?
Bandai are the masters of injection molding technology, and just about every single one of their models, until you start getting into some of the really old stuff, doesn't require a lick of glue.
That's what's cool.
It all snaps together with pegs.
Yeah, you say snap, but at the same time, I call it keystoning. When some of these things that are in here, I've noticed when the couple things I've tinkered with, when you start putting them together, you get one or two pieces in or four, then it's keystone in, or literally it's all locked together. And then it's just very nice. Anyway, please proceed. You're the expert on me.
So, down the bottom, you're going to get your manual. A lot of new kits these days are going to have both Japanese and English. You might come across some manuals that only come in Japanese. Don't worry about it. All of the actual instructions have very detailed images that show you exactly what you need. So long as you can tell what part you're getting at and where it needs to go, you can build them without having to read anything.
So, unlike building furniture at IKEA with your significant other, you should not be arguing here with anybody, except for maybe yourself.
And even then, your only argument is probably going to come from how much money you spend.
Yeah, I like that you still have the pictures. That's nice.
High grades are your easiest to find, and they cover the most variety. This is the brand new 2022 released Gundam Asmodai from the Iron-Blooded Orphans Erder Hunt line. Brand spanking new. But other more venerable series sometimes may get some other releases. Most are going to start as high grades. Say you want to start off with something a little bit easier though. Something phenomenal that Bandai has just sort of brought back is the entry grade line. And the biggest...
They even put right there at the top.
Oh yeah. No glue, no paint, no stickers, no tools needed really. Entry grades and some of the SD line, which are also very good starting points, have these much thinner gates that are made to be easier to break off, so they're even easier to assemble.
All right, awesome.
So you build a few high grades, maybe a couple entry grades, and maybe you like some of the SD designs and you want to move on up. Well, then you have a couple of options. You've got master grades and real grades, among others. Master grades come in 1/100 scale, so they start off a little bit bigger than high grades. And the big draw of master grades from their inception is that they come with full inner frames.
Oh, so it's not just this like an outside skeleton. It's just all the pieces that go inside.
So if we take a look at the manual here, you can see the mobile suit has an entire skeleton without its armor. And that's the big draw of master grades. With bigger plastic too, they're also going to have a lot more detail and a lot more part separation, meaning that things are going to be in the right colors without needing stickers or painting to fill in the details. If you want to get crazy, you can go for one of the newest lines, real grades. Real grades, similarly to master grades, have full inner frames. The difference is they're in 1/144 scale, like high grades. But their level of detail is off the charts. They really are something entirely new. Some, like this Char's Custom MS06S Zaku 2, even have dedicated runners of pre-built inner frame. So that's all of your moving parts molded together as one, just waiting for you to put the armor on. Gunpla, like Gundam, has been around for years and years and years. It's got a huge following in Japan and around the world.
Well, I mean, we obviously carry a bunch of it. Because,
and they sell.
Because Bandai's, they make all sorts of neat stuff. Like, the thing I did recently, I did one of these silver editions, Razor Crest. Man, I can't even talk today. And it went together the same way. It was gorgeous. And then I was kind of interested to see some what else is coming out. And then if you like other fun lines, obviously you don't have to stick with Gundam. Bandai makes other stuff, which is kind of neat. What else should we know? What do you think is a must know?
Let's see. Oh, in addition to your base kits, Bandai has got your modeling covered. They come out with part sets specifically made for customizing Gunpla that you already have.
So you can expand it, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. These, for example, are just a line of more expressive hands than what you're going to get in your box.
Okay.
Here we have entirely new weapon sets. And say you want to get into the dioramas, 1/100 scale crew and pilots.
Yeah.
The 30-minute missions line, which is also relatively new, also comes out with modular pieces of armor and equipment that, with a little work, can be modified to fit a lot of Gunpla kits. Or, naturally, you can stick with a 30-minute missions original and make something entirely new. You're not into Gundam, you're not into Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Pokemon. Make something entirely your own. Modeling is what you want to get out of it, and there's really no restriction once you get into it.
Well, there's a lot here to look at, so I appreciate it so much, Wes. Give me like some tips. Like I said, you know, I did that one video for our stores, and it was an SD build. But I don't see it here. I know we have it in Dallas. Anyway, we'll share that link on this one. But I kind of went through it as a new dude that's a dad that's in his 40s, like, you know, has done these in the years past as a kid, right? I know what this is. I've been around the block here, but I think kind of like what you brought up, it's a whole other world, right? And then too, at the same time, it's a hobby that you can get into when it's raining outside, even if you're not into Gundam. Come build a Kirby, because that's adorable.
Please build a Kirby. And if you're a person who's come in from cars and you just like the feeling of working with your hands, there's always just been something fun about building.
Yep.
So if you want to get into something new, the skill set is near identical.
And when it's gross outside, Kirby will keep you company. See you later.